enjoy these times that we have together. And I just want to remind you about the fact that if you like what you've been seeing and hearing, whether it is my shorts or it is my longer dissertations, please always subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like what I'm hearing and what you're seeing, of course, press the like button. Well, today I wanted to chat about the fact that as you get older, you start to understand more and more that life is not about what you look like or what you own. It's all about the person you're becoming. Now, I discovered maybe almost 7 years ago, my wife and I had decided that we were going to downsize. So we went from a home that was about 2,700 square feet down to one that was about 1,200 square feet. Now, we discovered very quickly that the stuff that we thought was so important and we offered to our kids, they did not want. In fact, I had to connive. I had to, basically, get down and say, listen, we need to get rid of some of this stuff. The big one, of course, was my library. At the time, I had about 4,000 books and had built my library over a lifetime. And finally, my son, Ryan, who happens to also be in the similar profession that I'm in, said, okay, Dad, I'll take your books. I had, classic books that were a couple, 300 years old. And here I was giving them to my son thinking, okay, he's going to really appreciate them. And I discovered that, he does appreciate some of the books, but the reality of the situation was that they ended up in his personal library down in his basement. And which was okay, but the simple fact is I had them, out on display. And I still do have about 2,000 books. I gave away, a lot of books, but I still have a lot of books. And recently, of course, I set up my brand new office, and it was, had a lot of books left over. I'm thinking to myself, I thought I gave away most of my library, but I discovered I didn't. Now, what I wanted to basically say was this. That's when I discovered that my children didn't view the things that I had and my wife had basically accumulated over a period of time as not important. And you're going to discover that too. There'll be all these things, these mementos and things that you have done over your lifetime. And when it's time to downsize or some other thing happens where you have to, unload this stuff, you'll discover very quickly that most of what you treasured really isn't all that important to someone else. It's like people who say, well, this particular item is worth thousands of dollars. It may or it may not be, because you got to find someone who values it the same way you do. And you'll discover very quickly that some of the items that you thought were so important, well, maybe they aren't so important. I happen to be a collector of old radio, old style radios. And of course, I am in radio. So, and I also broadcast on a radio station that has been basically in operation since 1922. It was the first radio station in the province of Alberta. It's CJCA. And just about, I would say, maybe 5 months ago, I was able to purchase a large, what we would call cabinet radio from 1943. It actually had stamped on it 1943. Well, that to me is a valuable item. And it looks good in, of course, our front room. And my wife has put some shelves around it. Looks very, very cool, in that respect. And I value that. But I wonder when it is time to, go into the next phase of my life, wherever it may be. I wonder if anybody's really going to value that antique radio like I do. So the reality is, the older that you get, the more you understand it's not about what you look like. It's not about what you own. It's about the person that you are becoming. So, what do you want to become? Well, I hope that the first thing you want to do is be positive. Also, as well, optimistic. Be kind. And also, as well, realize that loyalty and faithfulness and optimism is a really good place to be. Also, as well, work on your personal life. Look at yourself and say, okay, am I becoming the person that I really want to be? I was listening yesterday to a man who was talking about the fact how quickly life goes. And it's really true. It goes by fast. And all of a sudden you look back and you think, what have I really done with my life? Now, I'm not trying to be philosophical or anything like that. I just want you to look at yourself realistically. And remember, we chase after the almighty dollar. We chase after things that are really quite fleeting. I mean, when I talked about all these things that I thought were so important that my kids would want, and they looked at me and said, Dad, I don't want that. It was a real reality check for me. And I began to realize that it's not what I have, it's who I am that's really important. And so my exhortation to you is this. Hey, work on the relationships that you think are valuable. If you have a spouse, work on that relationship. If you have family, work on that relationship. If you have good friends, make sure that you keep in contact with those good friends and keep up with those good friends. Remember, people are the real issue. Having a good relationship with people, being loyal to people, to love people, to interact with people, to communicate with people, and also as well, spend time every day growing in the grace and knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ, and also getting to know yourself better. Self-improvement isn't a bad thing. It's actually a very healthy thing to do. And get those negative things out of your life. I saw this video one time where the doctor said to this man, you've got to get all the negative things out of your life. So he was throwing his wife and his kids out. I thought, no, don't do that. Don't do that. No, enjoy the relationships that you have, especially children, because the simple fact is they grow up faster than you ever think. I was chatting with my son Ryan a couple of weeks ago. He has, some children under the age of 7. Mira, his oldest daughter, just turned 7. And I said, Ryan, enjoy every moment that you have with your kids, because before you know it, they are going to be all grown up, and they will grow up faster than you could possibly imagine. And it is absolutely true. So make sure that you enjoy every day. Get and enjoy every day that you have. And remember, it's about the person that you're becoming and the relationships that you are building day by day. Remember, it says, this is the day which the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad. So just remember that today. My name is Robert Dean Steele. If you like what you've been hearing and seeing, I always encourage you to press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also as well, check out my daily shorts and also as well the other information and presentations that I have here on this YouTube channel.